What is up, y'all? Happy new comic book day. We got a slightly smaller stack this week, thank goodness. My pull list has been off the charts, and luckily some of the mini-series that I had been reading are wrapping up and we're getting to a much more manageable stack. But a lot of great stuff that I'm super excited about this week. So let me show you what I got. Starting off with my most excited, hyped about book, Captain America, issue number 1, Chip Zdarsky. Cannot wait to dive into this. I have been a huge Cap fan for a long time. As you can tell, he's my guy. I love all the iterations of Cap, all of his different stories and the different people that took up the mantle. But Steve Rogers always has a soft spot for me, and I just cannot wait. The last Steve Rogers Captain America title was not my favorite. I don't even remember who was on it. I just remember it was like 16 issues and started off okay. We got a lot of this history of him before the super soldier serum, dealing with some homegrown Nazi stuff in New York, so that I thought was really interesting, and then it just kind of slipped into some weird mystical stuff that I just didn't vibe with me. But I'm super excited about this. I cannot wait to dive into it. This has been one I've been looking forward to for a long time, so cannot wait to see what Chip Zdarsky does with Cap. He rarely, if ever, misses, and yeah, I'm just super excited. Also, this cover is like so clean. I love that. Next up from Marvel, we've got Godzilla versus Thor. Jason Aaron returning to write a Thor book. You know I'm gonna grab it. These have been a lot of fun. I like some others, some more than others, but for the most part, they've been like fun little reads. Not all of them have been, like I said, not all of them have been great, but I'm really looking forward to this one. I've been looking forward to this one since it was announced, and just that cover is so sick. But yeah, super excited about this. These have been fun, and we'll see how this goes. And then we're leading up to Godzilla destroys the Marvel Universe. So I think this is the last of these one-shots before we get straight into that, but cannot wait to read this. Super excited. X-Men number 19. I have been really loving, I think I mentioned in my last video, I've been really loving both X-Men titles that I've been picking up, Uncanny and Adjectiveless. So super excited. I love what Jed MacKay is doing with this book. I think the team's great. The team dynamic is really awesome. And yeah, rise to the era of apocalypse right here. So cannot wait to see what happens next for this team. I thought the last issue was great, especially the way that they dealt with the new mutant that they discovered, and kind of breaking her from Cassandra Nova's hold. I really enjoyed kind of that dynamic, and we'll see kind of what happens with this team moving forward with the 3K. Yeah, really excited about this. Cannot wait to dive in, and I think both of these X-Men books have been really great for very different reasons. I think they both have these very different kind of stories that they're telling, and I appreciate that about it, and also just getting to see these two very different dynamics has been really fun. So X-Men number 19, cannot wait. Keeping with the mutants, we've got the Hellfire Vigil, I'm sorry. So Krakoa's gone, so we're gonna see kind of how this deals with some of that grief, I'm imagining. So really looking forward to this. I feel like with the Rise of the Ashes books, one of the things that I feel like they haven't done a whole lot is like speak to kind of the grief and loss in a more substantial way. It seems like they just kind of threw them into a new status quo without ever dealing with a lot of yeah, just the hurt and the loss of losing Krakoa. So hopefully this will have some of that. My shop only had variant covers left. It was, but luckily they threw this in my box for me, so that I didn't miss it. But I'm gonna look and see if I can snag the A cover, because that A cover is just gorgeous. But yeah, super excited to read this. We'll see what it does. Hopefully it's at least interesting and gives these characters room to be sad. Lastly, for Marvel, we've got The Amazing Spider-Man issue number 7. We'll get to see a little bit more of Hellgate, I'm guessing, in this issue. He showed up at the end of the last issue, so hopefully we'll get to see kind of what his deal is, why he's here, what he's all about. John Romita Jr. is on the art for this for a while now. I don't love it. It's not bad. It's not bad, but going from the first story arc to this has been kind of a bit of a... it's been hard, to say the least. And some of these pages in the last issue just kind of felt like phoned in a little bit. But I'm excited to read this. I've been really enjoying the story since this Amazing Spider-Man title started over at number 1. So I cannot wait to see kind of where this goes. And I think Joe Kelly is really doing a great job with this book. And yeah, that's all I'll say about that. The art's fine, but the story's been really interesting. So cannot wait to see what happens in this one. I only got one book from Image this week, but it's a banger. Bitter Root, The Next Movement, issue number 4. This is only a 5-issue mini, so we're coming up on close to the last issue of this series. I've really, really enjoyed this book so far. I loved the first series so much. It was so good, and I've really loved all of the 3 issues of this leading up to where we are now. I was just at Heroes Con a little while ago, and I saw a panel with Sanford Green where they talked about this issue, kind of bringing back some of the characters, or finding out a little bit about what happened to the characters from the original series. And they also said this one was a tearjerker, so I am excited and also very cautious to read this. But I've been loving this series. It does such a good job telling the story, and I cannot wait to read this. The other indie that I got this week is Godzilla Heist, issue number 5. This is the last issue of this little mini series. This has been super fun. Just a good classic heist story with all of the tropes and kind of things you would expect from that, just with Godzilla as a distraction for these robberies. Super fun. I really have enjoyed this a lot. This is such a fun little book, so I cannot wait to see how they end up. We left off and it looks like they had control of a Mecha Godzilla, so it seems like we're gonna get Godzilla versus Mecha Godzilla in this issue, so pretty pumped about that. This has been super fun read if you just want like a good heist story that also has Godzilla, and the art has been really fun in this. I really enjoy it, so definitely if you haven't checked it out, all issues are out now. Godzilla Heist from IDW, definitely give it a read. It's super fun. And on to DC. I only got one new book from DC this week. It was a light week all around, which has been, like I said, very nice. But we do have Absolute Green Lantern, issue number 4. I hope this issue pulls me back in. I've been kind of like in and out. I thought the first issue was interesting, and now I'm just kind of, I want to know a little bit more to be drawn in. They aren't giving me much, so we'll see. We'll see if this one hooks me. If not, I might drop this after this issue. But I've loved all of the Absolute books so far. This one just hasn't like really kept me as engaged as the others. So we'll see what happens in this issue and if I want to keep going. But overall, I really enjoy it. I think it's a little bit of the art for me and the way that they're still telling the story. It's just unfolding a little too slow and not enough like grounded world building for me to stay engaged. But I know a lot of people have been really hyping this up, so maybe it's just not my thing. But I'm excited to see what happens in this issue and if I'll keep it around. And the last thing that I picked up this week was the history of the new history of the DC universe, the A cover. My shop didn't have the A covers last week when I went in, so I got the Michael Cho variant, who did these posters behind me, and I've been loving his work, so I try to pick up all of his variant covers. And now I assumed that they had already sold out of the A covers, but they got more in this week, so I picked it up. I love Chris Samney. I've been loving all of his work on Batman and Robin Year One, all of his stuff in general. I just love his covers and just that super classic looking cartoonist style. I just love it so much, and so I wanted to have his cover of this as well, and then I'll pick up the rest of his just the A covers for the rest of this series, so we can figure out how to view the DC moving forward. That is everything I grabbed this week. I will also be on the Keeg Show tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 p.m. Pacific Time, Thursday night. It's going to be great. I'm super excited. I love watching their shows and listening to their interviews and podcasts. So if you're around, tune in. It's going to be on YouTube Live. So we're going to be talking about all these books, and I cannot wait. So until next time, be kind to each other.